ingenious from an autism mom who saw a need and filled it. Just remarkable what you've been able to do. What we haven't talked about is how affordable it is, and I know that that's a question that's in everybody's mind. So tell us a little bit about what it costs to participate in Gemiini.
Well, we have a corporate policy that no one will be left without this therapy for an inability to pay. So it's a need-based scholarship. And it's hard to say how much it is. The highest price is $98 a month, which turns out to be about $2 an hour for therapy, which is still the least expensive therapy in the world.
Absolutely.
All the way down to $10 a month if you're on public assistance. And that price changes depending on the country. In India, it's even less expensive, and we change the price for the country. So it's hard to say that this is the exact price. You have to go on and read where you are in your financial situation and just choose which program. And the honesty and actually the hardship that most of our parents suffer, because we read through all of the applications, and there's a lot of real pain out there that's even caused by the diagnosis, because so many resources are just dumped into helping with this. So I am more thrilled about being able to present this at a reasonable price than almost anything else.
That's wonderful. Really exciting. And again, the website where people can go.
Gemiini.org with 2 I's in the middle.
Okay. And you've been on the path of making sure people always ask, well, is this science-based? Is there research showing that this is effective? And I know that you guys have been working really hard, and that you've got some studies. Talk to us a little bit about what's coming back research-wise.
Right. So when we first did our first non-clinical trial, it was a huge success. And I went to Dr. William Mobley, who's the head of neurosciences at UCSD, and I said, look at this. We had it all videotaped and everything. And he said, that's amazing. I love this. He brought in all his research. We couldn't believe it. And he looked at me and said, don't tell anyone. And I said, why? And he said, because you're going to find that if you don't use it correctly, you're not going to get these results. And you need to know exactly what does correctly mean, or else people will get false negatives and it'll ruin it for everybody else. So you got to get the research out there, and it's got to be published, because there'll be a lot of naysayers. So it takes a long time to get published. It takes. We have now I don't know, 6 trials that we've completed with 5 different universities. The first one was published last year by representatives of 3 universities, including the head of psychology for Princeton, and it measured articulation, word labels, and reading with adolescents. And that's really exciting, because none of you never hear of any of those things in studies.
Absolutely.
And video modeling is usually just for little kids' social skills, so that we're teaching all these other things to adolescents is wonderful. We have the next one, which is particularly amazing, I think, is coming out in the next issue of the Journal of Special Education Technology. It was done in the schools from preschool to middle school, and it compared DVM, discrete video modeling, which is the Gemiini method, to standard video modeling, and showed significant gains in expressive language over standard video modeling. The next study was done by an IRB with Gonzaga University, again in the schools, where we compared different ways to use Gemiini in the classroom, and we also compared it to standard teaching methods within the classroom. The next study is being done right now. It's going on, one of the largest studies ever done in the history of special education in a school district in California, with hundreds, I think, participants. I haven't even counted them all yet. And the one thing about our research that's unique is it's done by the people who are going to implement it. Teachers and parents. We were at a conference in the East Coast with the Autism Science Foundation recently, and the speakers there were lamenting the fact that 90% of research, 99% of autism research is done by graduate students in clinics who are highly trained and have a strong motivation to adhere to fidelity. And it has marginal efficacy, which is all lost when it's translated into a classroom where you have complete chaos. So there's nothing more translational than actually having the implementation measuring the data.
Yes.
And so that's what I think is the best thing about our studies, is that what happens in them actually happens in real life.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So exciting, everything that you guys have going on. I applaud you for all the work that you've done. Think that it's remarkable, and want to encourage people to go to your site, Gemiini with 2I's.org, to check it out. If they have a difficulty paying, which tab do they click on?
If you just look on tuition and scholarships, it'll explain all of the way it's priced, it's very easy to figure out. When you register, you just click on which one appears to you, and then we read the application. And if you don't hear back from us, it means that you've been approved for that scholarship.
And I just want to say again, you know, we see a lot in the autism community that it's segmented. You know, there's this camp and there's
The
this
autism
camp and
wars.
yes, and everybody has their camp, except that when I talk to parents go, I don't belong
don't.
to any camp.
No.
I'm not in this camp. I'm not in that camp. I'm in the camp of I want my child to do well. So
I'm in my child's camp. Yes.
Yes, I'm in my child's camp. And so I kind of look at you as being a little bit the UN of autism too, because you're not disavowing anybody's camp. You're saying bring your camp, add this to your camp, and let's all see what happens. And I think that that's remarkable. So for our parents that are out there that go, well, you know, but I do ABA. You can do ABA in conjunction with Gemini. For the families that are out there that are doing Sunrise, they can do Sunrise in conjunction.
We have many
with Gemini.
families, Sunrise and PRT and RDI and Teach and Floor Time and all of the other acronyms out there.
Right.
They all use Gemini. And I know actually I sat down and had a long talk with Ron Kaufman about Gemini a few years back, and he you know, commented about here and commented about there, and I said, you know what? There's 20,000 videos. If one of them doesn't exactly fit with your paradigm, the way you think should be done, there's 19,999 other ones that will. So we take suggestions from people using all of these kinds of methods, and we film for their method too.
Yeah.
So they have something that they can go to that'll be useful for the way that they're thinking and their philosophy.
And you're continuing to add to your library. It's ever growing.
Every day, all week long, hundreds of videos. We get, most of our videos are requests from people.
Okay.